Alright, welcome to the video. As you saw by the title, I'm gonna go over deadlifting with a rounded back. Is it good for you? Should you do it? Pros and cons and whatnot. So, before I get into the pros and cons, I first want to say, if you are a beginner lifter or even intermediate, absolutely I think you should not deadlift with a rounded back. That's why I'm not doing it. I think you should just build on fundamentals first, building a foundation, and then once you get towards the advanced level, then possibly experiment with it based on the pros and cons. You'll see. But beginner lifter, for sure, don't deadlift with a rounded back. Find whatever form works for you where you can remain neutral, keep the spine neutral. That's the first caveat. Second caveat, if you are deadlifting with a rounded back, but it is rounded from the start like this and maintains that, that's fine. But if you are deadlifting like this, and it goes boom, as soon as you begin to lift, do not deadlift like that. So those are my first two caveats before I get into the pros and cons. Is one, don't deadlift with a rounded back if you're a beginner, and two, don't do it if you just start neutral but then go fucking limp right away. Now, for those who are a little intermediate, more advanced, one, why are you watching this video? I don't know. But regardless, if you start like this and stay consistent with your back, here are the pros and cons for that. And let's get started with the actual bit. Alright, I'm going to start with the pros. So, deadlifting with a rounded back. First you got to look, is it your lumbar or your thoracic spine? So, if it's your lower back rounding, I'd probably say try to stay away from that. If it's your upper back, that's more acceptable, because first pro, with your thoracic spine, if your thoracic spine is rounded like upper back and not lower, you are reducing the moment arm between your hips and the bar. So that's the first pro. You're basically not reducing range of motion, but in a way you kind of are. You're getting your body closer to the center of gravity of the bar, so it'll make it an easier pull. So that's the first pro. Second pro, don't know why I did that. Second pro of deadlifting a rounded back is you can recruit more muscle fibers. So there have been a few article studies, whatever, some people have said, I don't want to say this for certain, but it does make sense how deadlifting with your upper back rounded, you can recruit more muscle fibers. And in that case, since you're recruiting more muscle fibers and the moment arms, the length of it's reduced, easier pull, you can deadlift more weight, theoretically, if you are safe with it. So those are the pros for deadlifting with a rounded back. Now, unfortunately, time to get to the cons. So if these apply to you, stop it. Alright, cons. So the cons of deadlifting with rounded back. One, the lockout's going to be harder. So whereas being with the shorter moment arm is good because it reduces the distance, and that's good for getting out the floor and whatnot, locking it out is gonna be kind of a bitch sometimes. So, because if your shoulder's like this when you first start, you have to get all the way back here to lock it out. Not to mention, you're not in an advantageous position to push your hips through, because with your body like this, let's say you get your shoulders back, your hips are still far back here, whereas if you started to pull neutral, your shoulders are already locked and your hips only have a short distance to go to lock it out. So it's harder to lock it out because you have to get your shoulders back and your hips through, whereas if you were neutral the whole time, it's that easy compared to that. So that's the first con. Second con, most obvious one, it's just a higher risk of injury. Even if you maintain a neutral, not neutral, even if you maintain the rounded back from the start and it was like that, so you kept tight the whole time, fact is you're still putting more pressure on your spine, and it could, not even your spine, it could, in my case, get your ribs out of place from just the thoracic region being so, like, pushing down, muscle fibers expanding. So I don't know, wait, did that make sense? Basically, it's just you have more chance of getting injured. That's the second con, and that's a very important con. So that's why I said if you're a beginner lifter, definitely don't lift with a rounded back. Find a neutral. Fucking videos, it's so difficult to talk. Alright, if you're a beginner lifter, lift with a neutral back. Find a stance form that works for you. If you're more advanced and your back, maintain that way throughout the whole lift, and either lockout's not an issue or you feel tight and safe, alright, lifting with a rounded back that's fine. Not to mention for more advanced guys, usually they tend to be a little bigger if they're, and sometimes it's just straight up back muscle, and it's not actually their spine rounding. Their spine could be like this, but they have so much back muscle that it looks like it's rounding. So that's gonna be the video. beginner, lift to neutral back, advanced. Why are you even watching this video? Like honestly, like why are you even watching the video? But yeah, you decide what's right for you, what's not right for you. That's my 2 cents. So take it for what you want. Probably, I don't know, it's 2 cents. You don't even take that. Alright, whatever. Please like the video if you like this. Comment if you want me to try to do like more informative videos, like my opinion based on what I've read and everything on certain subjects, kind of like this. So if you want more videos like this, just let me know. I'll try to invest in a whiteboard in the future so it looks cooler instead of just writing stuff on the screen. But yeah, so let me know, like the video, because that does help a lot, and see you in the next video. Peace.